Hello, good morning and welcome to Business News on Sunrise. My name is Menwaful. Coming up this morning, renowned economist Kwame Pianim sounds alarm, saying Ghana is bankrupt and smeared in deep crisis.
We are finding it difficult to pay government bonds. Banks, insurance companies are asked to put their monies in government bonds because it's safe.
Also, tea and related products record highest food inflation of 150% in July as inflation increases to 43.1%. Plus, LPG Marketers Association says the cylinder recirculation model will lead to price hike of the products.
These are not, excuse me to say, Father Christmas people who are just come and want to help Ghanaians. These are people who have invested and who want to see their investment recouped.
We'll bring you the details of our headlines and many other stories shortly. Thank you very much for joining. This morning, we bring you a concerning assessment of Ghana's economic situation. Renowned economist Kwame Pianim has raised the alarm, declaring the country is bankrupt and smeared in a deep crisis. His remarks were delivered during the 3 Business TV3 Thought Leadership Series. The following report has more.
Pianim has voiced serious concerns about Ghana's economic health. Speaking at the prestigious 3 Business TV3 Thought Leadership Series, Kwame Pianim minced no words as he described the country's financial predicament as dire, urging immediate action to avert a looming catastrophe.
The crisis we are in now, we've never been there before.
Never been there before.
Never been there before. We are bankrupt as a nation. We are having it difficult to pay salaries. Teachers, nurses who have been to allowances are not being paid. We are finding it difficult to pay government bonds. You know, banks, insurance companies are asked to put their monies in government bonds because it's safe.
Yes.
Now it is not safe.
For his part, statesman Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo attributed the current economic crisis to poor leadership.
To me, what is happening now is a question of leadership.
It's a question of leadership.
It's absolutely leadership. A leader must, number one, know his people and know exactly what they want. He must have integrity.
Integrity.
Absolutely. Without that, forget about it.
Does the current leadership we have as a country have integrity?
Absolutely no.
The Nana-led
I say no.
They don't have integrity.
I say no.
Taking his turn, economist Professor Godfred Bokpin supported calls for the resignation of the governor of the Bank of Ghana due to the over 60 billion cedis financial loss. According to him, the bank's moral authority has been undermined.
The optimal thing for the governor of Bank of Ghana was to have resigned long ago.
Absolutely. The governor should have resigned long ago.
You've waited too long.
Absolutely.
And that would have sent the right signal. You know, when you said that call the minority, majority, and the rest of them, you want to come to the table and say there has to be some trade-offs. We'll do some printing, but on condition that you're also going to do ABC.
Exactly.
It actually undermines the moral authority of the central bank in regulation and everything.
Meanwhile, former finance minister Seth Terkper criticized the Bank of Ghana's defense for the financial loss.
It is not a good defense. The reason I am saying that it is not a good defense is that if you recall, much of the non-performing loans, which occurred, were due to the Dumsor era, and we did ESLA. In fact, before we left office, we had started paying the energy sector debts with the ESLA amount. As we speak, ESLA has brought in 33 billion Ghana cedis.
The concerns raised during the 3 Business TV3 Thought Leadership Series underscore the importance of fostering economic stability and growth. Bismarck Ausa, 3 Business, Accra.
That was a report put together by my colleague Bismarck Awusa. Now, former Minister of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovations, Professor Frimpong Boateng, has criticized government's industrialization's agenda, beginning with the One District, One Factory initiative. According to him, industrialization goes beyond just setting up industries.
1G, 1F is not industrialization. You are setting up industries without linkages. You know, I mean, you can compare it to what Nkrumah did. 1G, 1F is not industrialization. You are setting up industries without linkages. That will help you improve. You know, I mean, you can compare it to what Nkrumah did. If you are industrializing, you do things that will help you improve upon what you are doing in future, so that there will be linkages. Nkrumah set up a glass factory in Abosu, and he knew that he was going to get the raw material, the sand from Zima, which was quite close. But he did not have the time. Think about the Sanyo factory in Tema, for example. We would just assemble radios without thinking about the next thing, building transistors and doing those things in this country. Then it is not industrialization. So if we set up a factory to process juice and you don't think about the next step. So what next?
You heard the voice of former Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Frimpong Boateng. Meanwhile, speaking at the same event, economist with the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfred Bokpin, has hinted of the likeliness of a third debt exchange program. According to him, this is due to the government's inability to fully restructure its domestic debt.
We had just restructured around 83 billion cedis. We had just restructured around 83 billion cedis of the total bonds. That tells you that we didn't get the fiscal savings that we wanted. So we knew that government would do a second round. They would do a third round. At that time, we knew that the cocoa bill, that was around 8.1 billion end of 2022. The local dollar denominated component around $800 million. Pensions, 29.2 billion cedis. Then Bank of Ghana. As at the end of 2022, the exposure of the central bank to the government was 77.6 billion cedis. So now, at the end of the day, because we had an end game, fiscal sustainability, debt sustainability, IMF set a cutoff point, 2028. With the progress we had made, there was no way, and we knew that there was no way Ghana was going to attain the debt sustainability. So in all the configurations, we had to use Bank of Ghana's balance sheet as a shock absorber.
Economist with the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfred Bokpin there. Inflation has once again increased to 43.1% in July from 42.2% in June. This is the third consecutive month the rate is witnessing an increase. Data released by the Ghana Statistical Service indicates that the surge in food and non-alcoholic beverages inflation was a driving force behind the overall inflation rise at 55%, while non-food inflation settled at 38.3% for July 2023. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim has been speaking.
Further disaggregation is done at the 13 dominant division level, and we did find out that given the rate of inflation for national being 43.1%, we identified 5 of the 13 divisions that recorded rates higher than the national average of 43.1%. These 5 divisions were led by personal care, social protection, and miscellaneous goods and services, recording the highest divisional inflation rate of 60.5%, followed by furnishing, household equipment, and routine household maintenance, recording the second highest of 56.9%. Food and non-alcoholic beverages, 55.0%. The other 2 divisions were alcoholic beverages, tobacco, and narcotics, 48.7%, and housing, water, electricity, and gas being the 5th item that recorded a rate higher than the national rate, recording 47.4% for the month of July 2023.
Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim there. Now, the Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association says the cylinder recirculation model will lead to LPG price hike. According to Gabriel Kumi, the argument by the National Petroleum Authority that the program will not affect the price of LPG is not entirely true. The association is therefore calling on the authority to conscientize Ghanaians on any potential adjustments.
The National Petroleum Authority, NPA, is set to roll out the cylinder recirculation module in September 2023. Under the program, residents of Accra and Kumasi, where the program is set to kickstart, will not have to own a cylinder or travel out of their homes to fill their gas cylinders after registering with their Ghana card. However, the LPG Marketers Association says the program will increase the price of LPG.
We've heard from NPA that this is not going to increase the price of LPG, and we don't see how that can happen, because you are going to introduce a line onto the cost buildup. So definitely this is going to increase the cost of LPG, because the retailers are still going to be there, the marketers are still going to be there. You are going to introduce bottling plants. And these are not, excuse me to say, Father Christmas people who are just come and want to help Ghanaians. These are people who have invested and who want to see their investment recouped. So definitely there's going to be an introduction of additional line in the cost buildup.
The association also believes the program has many flaws which needs time to be corrected. They're asking NPA to extend the commencement date to January 1, 2024.
There are problems that we can see now. So why don't we deal with those ones and wait till implementation before we start dealing with them? The problems that you can't solve now are those you can't see. You can clearly see that this is fire, and you go and put your hands in it and say that when I put my hands in it and it burns me, I'm going to put some ice water on it. No, this is fire. Let's quench the fire before we get there. Why do we have to wait till we get there before we start solving problems that we can see today? That is the difference.
A report by my colleague Shadrach Isirifi. Now, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper has rubbished Bank of Ghana's defense of its losses in 2022.
I am saying that it is not a good defense. Much of the non-performing loans, which occurred, were due to the Dumso era, and we did ESLAP. In fact, before we left office, we had started paying the energy sector debt.
You heard the voice of Seth Terkper, a former finance minister. Let's shift our attention to the forex and commodity markets and find out how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some of our key commodities are faring on the global markets.
On the interbank foreign exchange markets, where banks trade among themselves, the dollar recorded no price change, selling at 11 cedis. The British pound selling at 14 cedis after recording no price change. The euro gained 1 pesewa and it is selling at 12 cedis 1 pesewa. However, be guided that these figures will be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities market, price of cocoa is down by 0.39%, selling at $3,363 per ton. Price of Brent crude oil is up by 1.60%, selling now at about $88 per barrel, while the price of an ounce of gold is up by 0.08%, selling at about $1,916.
That was a trip to the forex and commodities markets. That will be all for Business News on Sunrise. My name is Minwa Full. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. Stay tuned. Sports News is up next.
What does winning mean to you? For Yao, it's seeing the joy in his mother's eyes after he provided her with a state-of-the-art kitchen to cook her signature Unapo Jollof.
It's a mega win.
For Ajua, it's turning her passion for photography into a successful career while providing her children with the best education possible.
It's a mega win.
For Kwame, it's becoming his own boss and starting his music business.
It's a mega win.
Whatever winning means to you, Mega 6 Lotto can help you achieve it in grand style. With only 49 numbers to choose from, the odds are always in your favor. Play with as little as 2 Ghana cedis for a chance to win millions of cedis every week. Download our Android and iOS apps. Dial *266# or visit mega6lotto.com to make a mega impact on your life and the lives of others. Mega 6 Lotto. Mega winnings, mega impact. The Mega 6 Lotto is regulated and monitored by the NLA.
.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Sunrise Sports on 3FM 92.7. My name is Kelvin Owusu, and let's get straight into the world of sports. But thankfully, yes, this morning sports is probably brought to you by Mega 6 Lotto. Sunrise Sports proudly sponsored by Mega 6 Lotto. 6 numbers can change your life. What would you do if you won 1 million Ghana cedis today with only 49 numbers to choose from? Mega 6 Lotto is giving you that opportunity, the chance to win exciting prizes. Well, don't forget to play before 5 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, people won. Yesterday, it was Wednesday. A lot of people won. Tomorrow is an opportunity for you to win mega going into the weekend. All you need to do is to dial *266# or download our iOS and Android apps on mega6lotto.com and you will be a winner. Well, Mega 6 Lotto is approved and regulated by the NLA. Let's get straight into the world of sports. And former Al Ahly and FC Pyramids striker John Entry, who is 31, has completed his return to the Ghana Premier League by joining Dreams Football Club. Dreams FC ahead of their CAF Confederations Cup campaign for 2023-2024 season. Entry is the highest scoring non-Egyptian player in the history of the Egyptian Premier League with 77 goals in 193 games. Hopefully, he's going to help Dreams FC on their campaign. Now, let's drop to some other transfers. Well, this was announced yesterday, and Legon Cities FC coach Pakwesi Faben, the new one who just joined them 2 days ago, says he wants to improve upon the club's performance as he tries to build a team that will last for the future. Legon Cities finished 9th on the log in the 2022-2023 season.
Yeah, any manager goes to a team and the aim is to improve upon the team. Like our brother asked the question that we played night twice. We want to improve upon the position that we had last season. So we want to see improvements in all areas of the team. No, I'm not going to shut the door for experienced players. There should be a blend. I mean, you cannot throw away experience and then bring in only young guys. When we see somebody that we think can help the team and has been in the system for some time, we'll bring him so that the little ones can maybe help learn from them. There's going to be a blend. It's not going to be totally young guys, but in the long run, the emphasis is that we need some young guys to be in the team so that we can develop them and then see what happens.
Samuel Pakwesi Faben there. He is the head coach for Legon Cities Football Club while going into the new season. Now, former Kumasi Asante Kotoko assistant coach Abdullahi Ghazaleh has joined Insua Treman Football Club, reuniting with his former boss Maxwell Knedu. The young coach has joined the Insua-based club as assistant coach after leaving Asante Kotoko. Ghazaleh signed a new deal with Kotoko until 2027 and was assigned to the club's youth team with the introduction of Aziz and then David Oklu by the new coach Prosper Ogum. Ghazaleh has decided to move on, and he has previously worked with Maxwell Knedu as assistant coach during his second coming with the Porcupine. So that is it there from the locals. And now moving on to the foreign front, it's getting tougher for Bayern Munich to land the services of Harry Kane as the striker also wants clarity going into the new season, which begins tomorrow as Manchester City and Burnley kick off the 2023-2024 Premier League. Now, Paul Merson believes that Tottenham will not finish in the top half of the table if they allow Harry Kane to leave the club.
You got no choice. You can't let him go for surely they can't let him go for nothing next season. Surely, I mean, whoever you are in this day and age, I mean, I know there's a lot of money in the Premier League, but you can't be that mad to, and this team, Tottenham team, will they get in the top 4 next season? I'd be shocked. So it's not like you're keeping him and you'll go, right, we keep him, we'll definitely get in the top 4. So whatever we lose by selling him, I'll make back in the Champions League. That ain't going to be the case. But they're going from a team that we think might get in the top 4, to wouldn't even get in the top half if he leaves.
The other thing is...
won't even get in the top half.
Where
they get... He's got 30 goals last season.
So hang on, Merch, you're saying if Harry Kane leaves, they'll bottom half team?
Yeah, 100%.
Who are they going to fill?
Come on, Merce. They finished 8th last season.
I wouldn't say they're going to finish.
And he scored 30 goals.
I wouldn't say they're going to finish.
So that from Paul Merson, some bits of argument there. Now, former Togo international and captain Emmanuel Adebayo believes that if Harry Kane leaves Tottenham Hotspur, he could win the Ballon d'Or.
Harry Kane has done it. He has scored so many goals. I watch him grow. So for me, I think, to be honest with you, Tottenham is a great club. I think it's a good time for him to leave. He's in the national team. He's top there. He's the captain for the England national team for the last 3, 4, 5 years. So I think, he need a challenge. And remember, somebody that is scoring 30 to 40 goals for the last 4 or 5 years in a row, and he's not winning anything. That is very bad. And for me, I think he will have a regret, knowing that he has everything in his possibility to win everything, to win Ballon d'Or. Because obviously, if Harry go to another club scoring 35 goals or 40 goals and winning the Bundesliga with Bayern, winning the Champions League, he's Ballon d'Or. He's the best player in the world. No doubt about that.
Emmanuel Adebayo played for Tottenham Hotspur after leaving Arsenal in the Premier League. Now, former Manchester United assistant coach René Millenstein has praised the signings that Erik ten Hag has made and believes it is working towards the manager's end goal. The Dutchman spent 12 years at United as a coach between 2007 and 2013 and played an integral role in the club's most successful era as the Red Devils won 4 league titles and the UEFA Champions League with 2 league cups.
Difficult to say from this moment on, Tom, because obviously I think the signings are good. You know, obviously Eric knows Onana from Ajax. He plays there, very charismatic goalkeeper, good with his feet, playing out from the back. That is something that Eric wants. I think the key for him is as well as to have that stability in the back line with Varane and Martinez, where Varane is still a little bit injury prone. You know, at times you have to look at that. Mason Mount, I think, is a player that brings that already that experience that he had playing in the Premier League in a top team, but also with the eye for the future, because obviously Eriksen is getting on a bit, and so does Casemiro. And then Højlund, which unfortunately is injured at the time. You won't see him in the beginning of the league, and still will take a little bit of time to settle. But the sort of three good signings. But to say, listen, will they be able to straight away challenge? That's why I think Eric is managing the sort of expectations really well. He wants to, because that is his end game.
Well, that is the end game that Erik ten Hag wants to achieve. Now, moving on to Manchester City, and Nathan Ake believes that Josko Gvardiol will be a very good addition to the Manchester City squad. He doesn't care about competition, but hopes they have a very good team, better than what they had last season.
Good. I think like everyone else. As a player in this team, the club is going to get the best players possible in every position, and I think that's only a good thing to have the competitiveness in the squad, but also to help each other, reach the next level and go on to win titles together. So I think it's always good if the club gets good people first of all, but very good players as well.
Back to some transfer news. On Arsenal goalkeeper Matt Turner has joined Nottingham Forest in a permanent transfer. The 29-year-old goalkeeper joined Arsenal from the MLS side New England Revolution in 2022 and went on to make 7 appearances in all competitions, keeping 4 clean sheets for those matches. Now, West Ham United will be looking forward to agreeing a deal for Manchester United players Harry Maguire and Southampton's James Ward-Prowse worth about £60 million in total. Each deal is thought to be worth in the region of £30 million. West Ham are looking to bolster their squad after selling England midfielder Declan Rice to Arsenal for £105 million and Italy striker Gianluca Scamacca to Atalanta for £21.5 million. Now to the Premier League chief executive Richard Masters, and he's spoken ahead of the new season. Well, he says there is no time frame given on whether investigations being conducted on Manchester City will be concluded before the new season begins.
I can understand why people are concerned about that, but ultimately the allegations have been laid. It's now in the hands of an independent panel. I can't comment on it. It's with them. They will set the timeline, and I can't comment on when it will come to fruition. But it will be heard. It will come to fruition. I just can't say when and can't comment on it. Same with Everton? The same with Everton. That's in the hands of an independent panel again, who are setting the timeline. I might expect that to be heard this year.
Well, hopefully that is going to be heard this year. Now, Richard Masters is looking forward to the opening day of the Premier League as Manchester City play against Burnley tomorrow to kickstart the 2023-2024 season.
It is. All starts on Friday. Turf Moor, Vincent Kompany playing his old side, bringing Burnley back to the Premier League against the champions. So I'm really excited to see that. I've been out in the US with the Premier League Summer Series with 6 clubs. I've already seen 8 pre-season games, so I'm absolutely ready to kick off the season.
Well, there's a lot more on Chelsea, and the Premier League is investigating potential financial rule breaches by Chelsea. They were fined £8.6 million by UEFA in July for breaking financial fair play rules as a result of submitting incomplete financial information between 2012 and 2019. Those breaches were reported by the new Stamford Bridge ownership following the club sale in May. It is understood they also notified the Premier League of similar issues. Now to Chelsea, staying with Chelsea, and they have announced Reece James as the club's new captain, succeeding Cesar Azpilicueta, who left the club to Atletico Madrid. Reece James has spoken on the new duty which has been given to him.
You know, to receive the captaincy as well is a great feeling for me and my family. But the journey has been tough. It hasn't been easy. You know, there was probably a number of occasions where I probably wasn't going to stay at Chelsea because I probably wasn't good enough at the time, and it was tough. I know I kept on working hard to get to a level where, you know, I got a contract. Definitely feels like a new bubble here. You know, we've got a number of new players, new staff, a lot of new scenery as well. But no, we've started pre-season well, and the camp feels good. You know, so we're excited for the season. You know, I'm gonna try and stay as fit as possible, you know, to maximise playing time and try help the team as much as I can. And, you know, last season's done, and this season, you know, we've got new expectations, and there's no reason why we can't achieve what we want to achieve.
That is from Chelsea's new captain, Reece James. Well, he is going to be the captain for the Blues for the new season, and the new coach, Mauricio Pochettino. Now, moving away, former Bournemouth boss Gary O'Neill has been announced as the new manager of Wolverhampton Wanderers, replacing Julian Lopetegui on a 3-year deal. Lopetegui's exit from the Molineux was confirmed on Tuesday, just 3 days before the season begins. O'Neill led Bournemouth to 15th on the log last season and was sacked on the 19th of June. Wolves fans have been sharing their thoughts on Julian Lopetegui leaving the team and Gary O'Neill taking over.
Well, he had a good spell at Bournemouth in the time that he was there, so that's promising. I'm disappointed that Lopetegui's gone, but of the managers available, I think Gary O'Neill's probably the best out there.
And what do you think about Gary O'Neill?
He was all right at Bournemouth, but I'm upset Lopetegui's leaving because he was a good coach. He kept us up, but I think Gary O'Neill could do a good job.
Well, I think we've just got to give him the best chance that we can. You know, he's got experience of what the Premier League is, and if the guys get behind him and they get really keen, and that, why not do well?
I'm optimistic and pleased that we have now got a manager again. Lopetegui was Fosun's choice first 6 years ago. They're waiting for him. It's just sad that he's gone so close to the season.
So that is it there from the fans of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, we'll be joining the Sunrise team at Labadi Beach Hotel, where the American Chamber of Commerce are having the American Expo. We'll be joining them soon for the rest of the show. But don't forget that there is going to be a lot more this weekend with the Premier League beginning. All those who are going to bet, well, you're going to suffer some 10%. And tomorrow, Ray Krampoff will be bringing you a lot more on that. But Mega 6 Lotto, thanks to them, 6 numbers can change your life, and that would mean that you'd have some very good money to spend over the weekend. You only have tomorrow to play for this week. What would you do if you win 1 million Ghana cedis tomorrow? That is Friday. Yes, with only 49 numbers to choose from, Mega 6 Lotto is offering you the chance to win exciting prizes. Don't forget to play before 5 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All you can do is to dial *266# or download the iOS and Android app apps on mega6lotto.com to play *266# or download the iOS and Android apps on mega6lotto.com to play. Mega 6 Lotto is approved and regulated by the NLA. Well, that'll be all we have for you this morning on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Kelvin Olson. Just like I said, we'll be joining the rest of the team, Helena Piampofo, Johnny Hughes, and the rest at that is Labadi, where we are bringing you Sunrise from the American Expo, from the American Chamber of Commerce. My name is Kelvin Olson. Have a very good morning.